Have you ever noticed that the people who seem to attract the most attention are rarely the loudest, the neediest, or the ones trying the hardest? Human desire does not grow from constant availability. It grows from curiosity, uncertainty, emotional impact, and perceived value. People don't crave what they completely understand. They crave what continues to challenge their imagination. The greatest mistake most people make is believing that affection can be earned by giving more, explaining more, or sacrificing more. Psychology teaches us the opposite. The human mind values what appears meaningful, rare, and emotionally significant. When something becomes too predictable, the excitement fades. When something feels slightly beyond reach, attention naturally increases. People are naturally drawn toward what they cannot completely understand or fully possess. This tendency is deeply rooted in human psychology. The mind is designed to notice what feels rare, uncertain, or intriguing. When everything about a person is immediately visible and predictable, curiosity fades. But when someone reveals themselves gradually, maintaining authenticity, while preserving healthy personal boundaries, they often leave a stronger and more lasting impression. This isn't about pretending to be someone else, or deliberately confusing others. It is about recognizing that meaningful relationships grow through discovery over time, rather than instant familiarity. Many people believe that the fastest way to become important to someone is by constantly being available, sharing every thought, responding immediately to every message, and making the other person the center of their world. At first, this may seem like kindness or commitment. However, psychology shows that when something becomes endlessly available, the mind often stops assigning it special value. Familiarity is comforting, but excessive predictability can reduce excitement and anticipation. What remains emotionally engaging is the opportunity to continue learning about another person through ongoing experiences. Think about the books that stay with you long after you've finished reading them. They rarely reveal everything in the first chapter. Instead, they unfold gradually, encouraging your curiosity with each page. Human interactions often work in a similar way. When every opinion, every plan, every emotion, and every detail is presented all at once, there is little left for the imagination. By allowing conversations and shared experiences to develop naturally, you give others the chance to appreciate different parts of your personality over time. Confidence also contributes to this effect. People who are comfortable with themselves usually don't feel compelled to explain every action or seek constant reassurance. They can enjoy a conversation without feeling the need to dominate it. They can listen without immediately turning every discussion back toward themselves. They understand that silence is not always awkward. Sometimes it creates room for reflection and genuine interest. This quiet confidence often communicates emotional security more effectively than endless self-promotion. Another important principle is maintaining a fulfilling life outside of any single relationship. Individuals with meaningful goals, hobbies, friendships, and personal ambitions tend to project a sense of purpose. Their identity is not dependent on one person's approval or attention. This independence is often attractive because it signals emotional resilience and self-respect. Rather than appearing distant, it reflects balance. Healthy relationships are strengthened when both people continue growing as individuals while choosing to share their lives with each other. Curiosity is also strengthened through emotional consistency rather than emotional unpredictability. Some people mistakenly believe that creating confusion or sending mixed signals increases attraction. In reality, manipulative behavior usually damages trust and creates unnecessary anxiety. Lasting interest comes from authenticity combined with healthy boundaries. Being dependable while still allowing your personality to unfold naturally is far more sustainable than relying on emotional games. Another aspect of psychological appeal is becoming memorable through meaningful interactions. People often remember how someone made them feel more vividly than the exact words that were spoken. Showing genuine interest, listening carefully, asking thoughtful questions, and responding with empathy create emotional experiences that remain in memory. These moments build connection because they demonstrate respect and presence rather than performance. Patience is equally valuable. Strong connections rarely emerge overnight. When people allow trust, understanding, and admiration to develop gradually, relationships often become more stable and rewarding. Rushing intimacy or forcing closeness can create pressure that weakens the foundation of the relationship. Allowing things to progress at a comfortable pace encourages both people to feel secure while continuing to discover one another. Ultimately, the most compelling quality is not manufactured mystery but authentic depth. A person who continues learning, growing, and pursuing meaningful goals naturally remains interesting because they are continually evolving. There is always something new to share, discuss, or experience together. Instead of trying to appear unattainable, focus on becoming genuinely well-rounded and emotionally grounded. The desire to know someone more deeply often grows when they live with purpose, communicate honestly, respect boundaries, and leave room for natural curiosity. That kind of presence creates lasting fascination, not through manipulation, but through character, authenticity, and the ongoing process of becoming the best version of oneself. What makes a person unforgettable is often not appearance, status, or even intelligence. It is the emotional impression they leave behind. Human memory is selective. We forget countless conversations, faces, and daily interactions. Yet we vividly remember moments that made us feel inspired, understood, challenged, respected, or deeply connected. This is one of the most powerful principles of psychology. People often remember how you made them feel, long after they have forgotten exactly what you said. If you want to become someone others genuinely value and look forward to seeing, focus on creating meaningful emotional experiences rather than trying to impress them with words alone. Every interaction leaves a psychological footprint. Some footprints disappear almost immediately because they carry no emotional significance. Others remain for years because they are connected to a powerful feeling. Imagine meeting two different people. One talks endlessly about themselves, trying to prove how successful, talented, or important they are. The other listens carefully, asks thoughtful questions, pays attention to small details, and makes you feel respected and understood. Days later, whose presence are you more likely to remember? Most people remember the one who made them feel valued rather than the one who simply demanded attention. Emotional presence begins with genuine attention. In a world where many conversations are filled with distractions, giving someone your full focus has become surprisingly rare. When you maintain eye contact, listen without interrupting, and respond thoughtfully, instead of waiting for your turn to speak, you communicate something powerful without saying it directly. You tell the other person that they matter. This simple act creates trust because everyone has a natural desire to feel seen and understood. Another important element is consistency. People feel emotionally safe around individuals whose behavior aligns with their values. When your words and actions consistently match, others begin to trust your character. Trust creates comfort, and comfort allows emotional connections to grow naturally. This does not mean becoming predictable in every aspect of your life. It means remaining dependable in your principles, while continuing to grow as a person. Someone who is emotionally stable and authentic often leaves a stronger impression than someone who constantly seeks attention through dramatic behavior. Confidence also plays a significant role in creating lasting emotional memories. Quiet confidence is different from arrogance. Arrogance seeks admiration by proving superiority, while confidence quietly reflects self-respect. A confident person does not constantly ask for validation or attempt to dominate every conversation. They are comfortable expressing their opinions, while remaining open to different perspectives. This balance creates an atmosphere where others feel respected instead of judged, making interactions more enjoyable and memorable. Stories and shared experiences strengthen emotional memory as well. Facts are easily forgotten, but experiences are remembered because they involve emotion. When people laugh together, solve challenges together, or have meaningful conversations about life, those moments become part of their personal narrative. Shared experiences create emotional anchors that connect memories to specific people. This is why meaningful conversations often leave a deeper impact than casual small talk. Kindness, when offered sincerely, is another powerful psychological force. Small acts of consideration, a thoughtful message, remembering an important detail, offering encouragement during a difficult time, or celebrating someone's success without jealousy, can have a lasting emotional impact. These gestures communicate reliability and empathy, qualities that naturally strengthen relationships. However, kindness should come from genuine character rather than an expectation of receiving something in return. People often recognize the difference between authentic care and calculated behavior. Emotional intelligence is equally essential. Every person carries invisible struggles, fears, ambitions, and hopes. Learning to recognize emotions without immediately trying to control or fix them creates stronger human connections. Sometimes the greatest gift you can offer someone is understanding rather than advice. By responding with patience, empathy, and respect, you create an emotional environment where people feel accepted for who they are. At the same time, maintaining your own identity is just as important as understanding others. Emotional impressions become stronger when people recognize that you have a meaningful life beyond seeking their approval. Pursuing personal goals, developing new skills, maintaining healthy friendships, and continuing to grow independently all contribute to a sense of authenticity. People are naturally drawn to individuals who possess purpose, because purpose reflects inner stability and self-respect. Ultimately, becoming unforgettable is not about creating obsession or dependence. It is about leaving behind positive emotional memories through authenticity, integrity, empathy, and confidence. When your presence consistently inspires trust, curiosity, encouragement, and respect, people begin to associate you with those positive emotions. That association is what makes someone truly memorable. Long after specific conversations fade from memory, the feeling of being valued, understood, and inspired remains, and it is that feeling which quietly keeps your presence alive in another person's mind. True confidence is one of the rarest qualities a person can possess, not because it is difficult to recognize, but because it cannot be convincingly imitated for long. Genuine confidence comes from self-respect, purpose, and emotional stability, rather than from external approval. Many people mistakenly believe that confidence means speaking louder than everyone else, constantly proving intelligence, or seeking admiration wherever they go. In reality, psychology suggests the opposite. The people who leave the strongest impression are often those who are comfortable with themselves, who do not feel compelled to win every argument, explain every decision, or chase every opportunity for validation. Their calm presence communicates strength more effectively than endless words ever could. One of the greatest mistakes people make is allowing their self-worth to depend entirely on how others respond to them. When someone bases their happiness on constant praise, attention, or acceptance, they unknowingly give away control over their emotions. Every compliment becomes necessary, and every criticism feels devastating. This creates insecurity because emotional stability begins to depend on factors outside one's control. Truly confident people understand that while appreciation is pleasant, it is not the foundation of their identity. They value feedback, but they do not allow it to define who they are. Independence plays an equally important role in developing lasting confidence. Independence does not mean rejecting relationships or refusing help from others. It means building a life filled with personal goals, meaningful habits, and values that exist regardless of who enters or leaves your life. A person who has ambitions, hobbies, close friendships, and a clear sense of direction naturally projects emotional security. Their happiness is not dependent on one individual's attention. This balance often makes them more interesting because they have experiences, ideas, and perspectives shaped by a rich and purposeful life. Purpose is another powerful source of inner value. When someone wakes up every day working toward meaningful objectives, they naturally carry themselves differently. Their conversations become richer because they are continually learning and growing. Their confidence becomes quieter because it is built on action rather than appearance. Instead of trying to convince others of their worth, they simply continue improving themselves. This silent dedication often attracts admiration because people instinctively recognize authenticity when they see it. Another aspect of psychological strength is emotional control. Life inevitably brings criticism, rejection, disappointment, and misunderstanding. Confident individuals acknowledge these experiences without allowing them to consume their identity. They recognize that not every disagreement requires a response, and that not every negative opinion deserves emotional energy. Remaining calm during difficult moments is often interpreted as strength, because it demonstrates self-control. This does not mean suppressing emotions. Rather, it means expressing them thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Healthy boundaries are also essential. Many people confuse kindness with constant availability, believing they must always say yes in order to be appreciated. Over time, this can lead to exhaustion and resentment. Emotionally secure people understand that respecting others also requires respecting themselves. They know how to decline requests politely, protect their time, and communicate honestly without unnecessary guilt. Boundaries are not barriers against connection. They are expressions of self-respect that help relationships remain balanced and healthy. Another characteristic of confident individuals is their willingness to embrace silence. Modern communication often encourages immediate responses and continuous explanation, yet silence can demonstrate composure when used thoughtfully. Instead of filling every pause with unnecessary words, emotionally secure people allow conversations to breathe. They think before speaking and avoid reacting purely out of discomfort. This measured approach often makes their words carry greater weight because they speak with intention rather than impulse. Humility also strengthens confidence. Truly secure people are comfortable admitting mistakes, learning from others, and accepting that they do not have every answer. Their confidence is not threatened by another person's success because they understand that growth is not a competition. Rather than comparing themselves constantly, they focus on becoming a better version of themselves each day. This mindset creates lasting self-esteem because progress becomes internal rather than dependent on external comparison. Personal growth further reinforces psychological value. Reading, learning new skills, improving physical and mental well-being, and developing emotional intelligence all contribute to a deeper sense of purpose. As people continue evolving, they naturally become more engaging. Their perspectives expand, their conversations become more meaningful, and their confidence becomes increasingly grounded in experience instead of image. Ultimately, the strongest form of attraction is not created by seeking constant attention, but by becoming someone who genuinely values themselves while respecting others. Confidence, independence, and quiet strength inspire trust because they reflect emotional maturity. People are naturally drawn to those who possess purpose without arrogance, kindness without weakness, and self-respect without selfishness. When your value comes from your character rather than from the opinions of others, your presence becomes calm, authentic, and memorable. That quiet confidence often leaves a deeper and more lasting impression than any attempt to force admiration ever could. Many people believe that lasting fascination is created by saying the perfect words, giving endless attention, or constantly trying to please others. Yet psychology suggests that genuine, enduring interest is built on something much deeper. People are often drawn to those who have a clear sense of self, meaningful goals, emotional maturity, and the confidence to live authentically. Lasting fascination is not about convincing someone to admire you through manipulation or performance. It is about becoming a person whose character, values, and presence naturally invite curiosity and respect over time. One of the biggest misconceptions about attraction is that it grows through constant availability. While consistency and reliability are important in healthy relationships, making another person the sole focus of your life can unintentionally reduce your sense of individuality. When every decision revolves around gaining someone's approval, your own interests, ambitions, and personal growth begin to fade into the background. Ironically, this often weakens the qualities that made you interesting in the first place. People tend to admire those who continue pursuing their passions while also building meaningful relationships. Having a purpose beyond any single relationship creates a powerful psychological effect. A person who is committed to learning, improving, creating, or contributing to something meaningful carries a different kind of energy. Their conversations reflect experience rather than dependence. Their confidence grows from progress instead of praise. They do not seek attention because they are already invested in building a fulfilling life. This quiet sense of purpose often inspires admiration because it reflects emotional stability and self-respect. Another important principle is authenticity. Trying to become whoever others want you to be may gain temporary approval, but it rarely creates genuine connection. Over time, maintaining a false image becomes exhausting, and people often sense when someone is pretending. Authentic individuals are comfortable expressing their real opinions respectfully, admitting mistakes honestly, and living according to their values, even when it is not the easiest choice. This consistency builds trust, because others know they are interacting with a real person rather than a carefully constructed image. Curiosity also plays a significant role in maintaining lasting interest. People naturally enjoy discovering new dimensions of someone over time. This does not mean intentionally hiding your personality or creating unnecessary mystery. Instead, it means continuing to grow. Learn new skills, explore different ideas, travel when possible, read widely, develop creative hobbies, and remain open to new experiences. As you evolve, your conversations become richer, your perspectives broaden, and your personality gains depth. Someone who never stops learning rarely becomes predictable because they are constantly developing. Healthy communication is equally essential. Fascination is not sustained by emotional games or mixed signals. In fact, inconsistent behavior often creates confusion rather than meaningful attraction. Honest communication, active listening, and mutual respect provide a much stronger foundation for long-term relationships. When people feel emotionally safe expressing themselves around you, they are more likely to value your presence. Trust allows fascination to deepen because it removes the fear of hidden motives or unnecessary conflict. Patience is another quality that strengthens meaningful connections. Modern culture often encourages instant results, but human relationships develop through shared experiences, understanding, and time. Attempting to rush emotional closeness can create pressure that weakens trust. Allowing connections to unfold naturally gives both people the opportunity to appreciate each other's character rather than becoming attached to unrealistic expectations. Strong relationships are built through consistency rather than urgency. Respecting personal boundaries is equally important. Fascination does not grow through controlling another person's choices or demanding constant attention. Instead, it grows when both individuals feel free to maintain their own identities while choosing to invest in the relationship. Independence and connection are not opposites. They complement one another. When each person continues growing individually, the relationship gains new experiences, ideas, and opportunities for mutual support. Gratitude also contributes to lasting admiration. Appreciating others sincerely, acknowledging their efforts, and celebrating their achievements without jealousy creates positive emotional experiences. People are naturally drawn to those who encourage growth rather than competition. Small gestures of appreciation often have a greater psychological impact than dramatic displays designed to impress. Genuine kindness strengthens relationships because it communicates respect without expecting immediate rewards. Ultimately, the deepest fascination comes from becoming someone whose presence consistently reflects integrity, confidence, empathy, and purpose. Rather than chasing approval, focus on developing qualities that improve your own life first. Build meaningful habits, strengthen your character, remain curious about the world, and treat others with honesty and respect. When your life is guided by authenticity instead of the desire to impress, people begin to notice something different. They are not attracted to a carefully crafted performance. They are drawn to genuine depth. That kind of fascination lasts because it is rooted in real character, mutual respect, and continuous personal growth, rather than temporary attention or superficial charm.